divorce. So your narcissist wants to be friends after they've discarded you or left you for someone else or told you they don't love you anymore. And you're tempted to. Why? Because you're still in love with them, or you still have hope, or you're trauma bonded to them. And why do they want to do this? Why do they want to still keep you around? Because they want to exercise control over you and keep you dangling on their little string. Because even though they want to keep you there, because they want to have that option there, they don't want to totally let you go, because they enjoy that power and that control, and they want you to just be there as their little puppet string to manipulate when they want to come back. They don't totally want you, but they enjoy hurting you, and that's why they do it, because they can. They don't want you the power to just walk away and say, oh, well, then I'm done. It gives them pleasure, and that's why they want to just be friends. So let's look at this realistically. Get out a piece of paper and write down all the terrible things that they have done to you, all the ways that that person has harmed you over the years or months or decades, and ask yourself if that was your best friend or your son or your daughter that had those things done to them, would you advise them to stay friends with that person? Because I guarantee you that that narcissistic person is not going to change. And the reason they want to stay friends with you is in case this other person or other supply doesn't work out, they want you as a fallback person, or they want to be able to use you for something else later on. And I will give you some examples from my personal life with the narcissist that was in my life. Unbeknownst to me, when I was being love bombed, he was not yet divorced. He was separated, and we were in a long distance relationship. I met him online. He told me they had been split up for a couple years, and that really wasn't true. It had really only been less than 6 months. And I had no idea that even though he was inundating me with emails and talking to me for hours every day on the phone, he was still talking to his wife on the phone every single day. And I had no idea that this was happening. So, and I guess it was true. I don't think it was a lie that she had cheated on him and she had a boyfriend. But they were still talking to each other on the phone every single day. So they got divorced, and when we married, we were still not living in the same city. We were still living states apart, and we did not move to the same area for like 4 months because I still had to sell my home and my children were still in school. So that was the delay. So we got married 2 days after his divorce went through. Well, his ex-wife, was blindsided by his marriage and in shock and very upset by this. Well, I guess I understand why now, because he was talking to her on the phone every single day. And I had no idea this was going on. So that's just an example of what they do. So here, my Prince Charming that's sweeping me off my feet, love bombing me, is at the same time still keeping his current wife on the string and talking to her every day on the phone. So before we got divorced, he was hoovering me. I allowed myself to be hoovered, so I'm letting you know that even though I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, I was not being very smart myself and not following the advice. So I'm just trying to warn people that you can know all this stuff, watch all these videos, and because of the trauma bonding, it's a lot easier to listen to the advice and then not follow it, because I understand it is very, very difficult. The trauma bonding is very real, and he was involved in an online relationship. Sound familiar? Although the online relationship that he was involved with at the end of our marriage was a catfish relationship. So his online relationship that he was involved with was not real, although to him he believed it was real. So he was hoovering me and involved in an online relationship at the same time, but his hoovering of me was really just done purely to punish and humiliate me, and was done just to get me to basically cry, humiliate myself, and tell him how he was right and I was wrong, and just all the ways that narcissists get you to. It was a way for him to continue to abuse me. So that's part of their motive, and just reasons why they still want to be friends, is just ways for them to continue to abuse you. And then the final way, when I was still not going no contact, even briefly after the divorce, I felt pity on him, and he moved, and my son and I allowed him to manipulate us into helping him move. We felt sorry for him. We helped him move. He got free labor out of us. We helped him move a huge U-Haul, all his belongings. Then after all his belongings were moved out of his U-Haul, my son and I, he and my son got into a big altercation. The police were called, and he was trying to get my son arrested. He did not understand that if somebody was going to get arrested, they were both going to get arrested, and he kept going on and on and on, not realizing that the police, if they were going to arrest anyone, were going to arrest both of them. Anyway, that was our last contact, and of course he wrote me this nasty, nasty email blaming me because that's what they do. The altercation was between him and my son, but they have to blame someone. So of course it was all my fault. So anyway, that is why you should never stay friends with the narcissist X. So thank you for stopping by my channel, and please